How you guys doing? My name is Miguel Reyes, and I'm here to present you guys with the John Newberry Award. Who John Newberry is? First of all, he's considered the father of children's literature, and based upon his accomplishments today and from what he's pioneered over time, he is actually his award is basically the seal of approval for most children's literature books today. Born in Berkshire, England in 1713. Uh, One of the first publishers of children's books, such as Mother Goose, Little Pretty, the Lego Little Pretty pocketbook, Little Rudy, big children's books. And the whole idea of what these children's books were is they were brought up in the British middle class, kind of to turn, I guess, willing to kind of like mold children and try to say like what they're thinking based upon children's literature. I mean, it goes more in depth beyond that. But basically, his books were designed towards more of a younger audience, and he basically pioneered and not more or less pioneered, but more or less like kind of like introduced it more to like the general middle class of the British culture back in the 1700s. Basically, he was a publisher, and his philosophy on children's literature really made a difference and impact on it. Fast forward now to the 1900s, early 1900s. Due to his accomplishments in the past, deemed him worthy enough to give him the title the father of human children's literature, and in came into play. The Newbery Award came into existence. Started in 1922, and it was designed by Rene Paul Chamberlain. And his awarding name is basically the seal of approval in most children's libraries. The majority of public schools today and children's libraries itself, like the children's section in most libraries, when you pull out a book, for example, like a Dr. Seuss book or something, you may find a little seal on the side of it. That is actually the Newbery seal of approval. And what that is used for is basically saying, like, this book is what it is and how it's basically, top notch. More or less, for like example, like say if you go to a supermarket and you go pull out some meat, and if it doesn't have the USDA approval, or if you go into, you know, the pharmacy, and if they don't have the FDA seal of approval on most over-the-counter drugs, the John Newbery Award and the medal basically is that approval. Not to mention, it's not just literature itself; it's more or less the illustration from most children's books. And the inscription on it is usually read for children's libraries. The Newbery Award impacts children's literature, and it's usually awarded annually by the American Librarian Association for the most distinguished books. Usually presented with a Caldecott Medal for the Best Picture. And on June 22nd, 1921, Frederick C. Melker proposed, the idea of children's librarian section to be opposed, known for like the Newbery Medal and what it's for. So that's just to give you like a brief introduction for my information presentation on John Newbery and the Newbery Medal. My name is Miguel Reyes again, and thank you all. You guys all have a good night.